begin, can you just introduce like what is that you do and what is your experience with AEM and what is your expectation out of the class?
Yeah, hi Rishi. So I've been working with the CMS like for the other different CMS for the past 5-6 years, but I used to work on. I'm still working on team side intro and for the past 5 years, but going by the trend, if you see in the market, not many clients are using the intro, and also I want to make a shift to some other content management system.
Sure. Okay. Where are you put up?
Sorry?
Where are you put up?
I'm right now in Austin, but I work for a California-based company, so I
Okay.
work remotely from Austin.
Fine. Great. Okay, Ranjit. All right. And what is your experience with AEM? Have you worked on AEM earlier? At least parts of
Not,
it? Have you gone
I've been
through?
trying to learn it for the past 3 years, but I haven't really got much time.
All right. Fine.
So
Okay.
at some point I could, find some time, so I thought I could learn it now.
All right. Thanks. And what is your understanding of Java? I mean, are you familiar with Java?
I'm okay with Java J2E, but the frameworks I don't have much an idea about it.
All right. I mean, at least the core Java and the JSP servlets part, can you manage with that?
Yeah, I can.
All right, fine. Thanks, Ranjit, for your introduction. Can you go to Vishwani?
Yeah, I'm basically a student. I've recently graduated, and I'm from electrical background, so I have no idea what AEM is. But I took training in Java, so I'm familiar with JSP pages and all.
Okay.
And I'm living in New Jersey right now.
Okay. All right. But you're okay with core Java and you understand collections and all those things, right? Garbage
Yes,
collection,
yes, I'm
memory
familiar with
management.
those concepts. Yes.
Okay, fine. I think that should be good enough. If you're good with HTML, JSP, and servlets, you should be able to cope up with this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. So let me give a quick introduction about myself. So I have been working with this Adobe space from the last 3.5 years, and I've been working with Adobe itself, and I've handled about 4 to 5 projects. I do consulting, and I keep traveling. Okay, so training is my passion. So what I've been doing is I've been working on the Adobe Marketing Suite, right? So when I say Adobe Marketing Suite, all right, it's a collection of Adobe tools, right? It's your Adobe Experience Manager. AEM is one of it under the whole Adobe umbrella. There are other marketing. I mean, if you see the market, right? Let me pull up that slide for you. Right. So if you see the Adobe Marketing Cloud, right? So this entire thing goes as one product suite. Okay. So if you see this, Adobe has Adobe Social, right? Then there is Analytics, there is Target, right? Adobe Target, right? There's Adobe Experience Manager, right? So this training is primarily on the Experience Manager part, right? So this takes care of their web content management system, all right? This is the one that is primarily used for building websites, all right? So what is that distinguishes this Adobe from a typical Java-based application or a .NET based application, right? So basically, does anybody wants to take a shoot at that? What is that distinguishes Adobe from the other content management systems? I mean, in the research that you have done at least. Why did you opt for AEM?
Uh, as far as I'm hearing about AEM, so I think it's a user interface that makes it easy for the marketing authors and everything, the publishing and everything very easy because it has mobile emulators and everything, so that everything is included in one suite. You don't have to go try different tools to see if your sites are responsive, or you can do everything in at one place.
Correct. You can do everything at one place. Correct. So basically, you have your digital asset management, right? If you
Yeah,
take any
that's
website,
what included.
yeah, if you take any websites, right, it has images, it has videos, it has PDFs, right? It has everything. So This AEM, it comes with a centralized area for storing all your digital assets that is called as the digital asset management. Okay, so basically AEM has some features which cannot be there in other CMS, right? So few of it are, one is it comes with social collaboration. All right, when I say social collaboration, right, it couples well with Facebook, it couples well with Twitter. All right, so it's just about one configuration, and you can be able to collaborate with these users, right? Basically, you can create forums, you can create blogs, you can create a whole lot of stuff to go social. All right, that is very one important thing. Then it allows you for the digital asset management, right? So all your digital assets go and sit under one thing. And the main important thing here is there's something called as the multi-site manager. Okay, so basically you are going to build just one version of a website, and then you are going to roll that website into different channels, right? So it's a multi-channel platform, right? When I say multi-channel, it's just one-time development effort, and I can roll it out to my mobiles, I can roll it out to my tablets, I can roll it out to the desktops, right? It's just one configuration thing. But think of a traditional application, right? So you need to build something on specific to the device, right? When you want to build something on Android, you need to build it again. That is the primary thing here. All right. So other than that, it also has a lot of other features, right? Your caching, it provides a wonderful mechanism for caching. All right. So that is something that is great here, and it also couples tightly with your analytics. All right. It can be any of your analytic solutions like your Google Analytics, right? Or it can be your Adobe Analytics, or it can be any analytic solution, right? It's just injecting one JavaScript, right? It provides you placeholders for injecting these things, right? Analytics. What is the advantage if you have analytics? Right? You want to know how your website is performing, or you want to track the users, right? From 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, who are the users who logged in? What are the user actions that they did? You want to see a solution, right? You want to see a report of what all has been happening on your website. So it couples well with your analytics, right? Analytics, this Adobe marketing, Adobe has a analytics suite here, right? So how it works is, it'll take you can map the coordinates, all right? For example, the number of users and the location, all right? And you can get a graph out of it. So that solution is already ready. You just need to plug in those features and your website is ready, all right, with the real-time data. And there is something called as the campaign management, all right? So when I say campaign, say suppose you are a product company, all right, you want to and you have products which are sold seasonally. For example, in winter you want to sell something, in summer you want to sell something, all right? So basically what you do is you are going to track the users. For example, there can be some attributes based on which you track, all right? For example, I have men in the age of 25 to 30, right, who are logging in who logged in summer, right? So I can create segments out of those, right? I can add those people into a segment, and I can target a campaign for them in winter, saying we have a new range of clothing for winter. Okay. So basically all these campaign managements, right? And I can also, there are something called as teasers. I can do the campaigns, right? It takes care of my entire brand management, right? So everything, again, it's just a plugin and it's just matter of configuring how you want it, all right? So there's something called as the media optimizer, all right? So when I
So,
say media,
uh,
yeah.
correct, correct. So these can work independently without the experience manager also.
Experience Manager, see, it gives you placeholders for all these things, all right? But yes, these segments, campaigns, teasers, it can still work without the campaign. But campaign is altogether a new solution which had few more enhancements to these things, right? For the campaign management, all right? So if you take the Adobe Target, right?
Yeah.
Even Target is same way, right? You have some products and you want those to get published to your channel ads. You want to see what to see on your channel ads, how to target the users, all right? So this Target will help you optimize those things, right? You can do everything with your Experience Manager, right? It's a framework. It gives you placeholders right? If you use these solutions, additionally, they give you a few more things. And for the digital market, yeah, see, basically, when you're learning such content management systems, it's very important to understand the roles of users, right? Who are all the users that get into the system? So when you think of this AEM, all right, what are the kinds of users? It's very important to understand the stakeholders of AEM. One is the digital marketeers. Okay, when I say marketeers, so marketeers are the people who are responsible for how your website is performing, right? They are responsible for the look and feel of your website. They are responsible for what are the kind of content that goes into your website, right? And they are responsible for monitoring the metrics of the website, how many conversions, right? So basically this AEM, right, it facilitates in something called as lead to cache. Are you guys aware of this lead to cache?
Yeah.
Right, conversion of a lead into a sale, right? They're responsible for, right? So usually when you think of the digital marketeers, then if you say suppose you have a big requirement and you're a new company, right? So you would have a marketing team. So your marketing team, right, they would go down to the customers and they would tell, we have this website, right? This is a very cool website with all these features. Right? So as a client or as a product buyer, and they go and advertise these. So for them, instead of manually doing stuff, all right, manually tracking things, manually doing stuff, all right, there's a complete product suite that you can use. Okay, so if you buy the Adobe suite, your time to market, all right, your time to market significantly decreases. How is the time to market decreasing? Right? Because your development time, right, is significantly less, right? It's significantly less. Why is it significantly less? Because this AEM comes with a set of features which are commonly used across websites. Right? This comes with a set of features which are commonly used across websites. For example, it can be your tracking, it can be your campaign management for your websites. Right? There is something called as the media optimizer. For example, your website, it has to you have some images related to your website, all right? And when you have channel ads, when I say channel ads, for example, on Google, when you click on your website, all right, you can enhance the look and feel of your website on your search engines, right? The relevant search engines. So what you do is in your media optimizer, you tell on these media channels what are the kind of images, what are the kind of videos that I need to show up. All right, you can configure all those things, and you can also track after changing the images, after changing the videos, right? After changing the relevant content on these search engines, how is the optimization? I mean, or how is the performance, right? So you can monitor the expenses. You can do everything with this media optimizer. Okay? So basically, what I want to tell you here is, right? And why is that people choose AEM? All right. If you see, there is Gartner's and Forrester reports, right? So there's a kind of study that these organizations, there's something like Forbes for IT. Okay, so what they do is they rate your CMS tools, and they have some metrics based on which they measure. Right? They have placed a on top quadrant, right? On top quadrants from the last 3 years. right, from the last 3 years. So basically, you are a big organization, and say suppose you have a legacy website. All right. So when you have those, and how do you consider going for AEM? All right. So there would be an architecture team within your organization, all right, who are going to evaluate all the CMS tools available. So when they do their evaluation, right, they open these reports, right? People usually trust Gartners and Forrester, right? They open these reports and then they see the metrics. In those metrics, right, there will be the response times, right? There will be a lot of other features based on which this tool is rated, and that is how they pick up AEM. All right. So what is that is driving people to AEM? Let's understand. Okay. So if you see here, all right, what is a content management system basically? All right, it is a web application, right, designed to make it easy for non-technical users to add, edit, and manage a website. All right. When I say non-technical users, I mean to say they are my digital marketeers. All right. So let's think of a traditional Java application, or let's think of a .NET based application. Right? If you build a website, what are the kind of things that happen? Right? There is a lot of coding effort involved basically, and a simple content change. For example, think of a news website, say I say CNN.com. A simple content change has to go to that particular developer or has to go to the UI developer, and he has to go update the code files, right? And the entire whatever changes he has done has to go through a deployment cycle, correct? So the time to market becomes more because I need to wait for 1 or 2 days till the release happens. So if there is, imagine there is change of content every 1 hour. So you need the intervention of a developer to take care of it. Alright. But when you come to a content management system, alright, what a developer does, right? He's going to give you reusable components, and it is when you want to change some content, right? When you want to change some content, it's just a matter of going to that particular content and editing it directly. All right, you don't need to change any code for that. Right? A developer builds reusable components, and as a content author, right? So when you talk of any content management system, there are three kinds of stakeholders. Right? One is the author. So authors are non-technical users. Okay, non-technical users who are going to who is in charge of the content for your website, right? They are the ones who are going to build your website. And then we have the publisher, right? We have something called as the publisher. So whatever the author does is visible on the publish environment. Author basically activates some content. That content, usually when you activate any content, right, it has to go through a review, right? The management takes care of reviewing what has been authored. So basically you need to have a organizational process for that, right, for the review. Okay, organizational process for say a review, or basically we have an organizational process for a set of processes. Yeah, it's basically a set of processes. So all these processes, right, we have something called as the workflow. Okay. So when you subject your particular content to a workflow, all right, automatically you're enforcing a set of steps on that content. All right. What can be that? One scenario would be, all right, say suppose we have authored some content, right? We don't want that content to be live to the end users immediately, right? We want that content to get reviewed by your manager, for example. Right? So you can directly, AEM comes with a set of workflows for that. Right? So it basically allows you to do the workflow management. Right? So these are all the features that are available. You only need to customize it as per your need. Right? So, and let us also understand what are the different features of AEM. Alright, so what is that it comes ready with? it comes ready with users and groups. Alright. So basically, when I have multiple users, alright, and I can have multiple groups. So this comes with built-in users and groups, and when you want to add a new user, it's just a matter of clicking new user and adding groups, associating the users to the groups, and associating those users and groups to your pages. Right? So that's what it comes with. And then it comes with tagging for search. Alright. So basically, whenever you think of a large-scale application and when you want to build a search engine, right? So search is one of the most complex things. Alright. AEM already comes built in with a search engine. Okay. So basically, you can have about 10,000 pages, alright, and this search, right? It comes as a out-of-the-box component. When I say out-of-the-box component, it comes shipped with the product. I just need to drag and drop a search component and your search starts working. Alright. Most of the websites, they spend a lot of effort on search. Right. So basically, how is that AEM is taking care of that? There is something called as tagging. Alright. When I say tagging, I can tag my pages with some keywords. Alright. How the search works is, whenever you search for a particular term, okay, it searches for all the tags associated with that page, and that's how it is able to fetch you the results. Alright, this is one very important thing about AEM. Alright, and it comes with reporting. Right, reporting, when I say, right, there is an analytics integration that you can do. Adobe, if you talk of the marketing suite, there are 6 main products in that. Analytics is one of the products. Alright, so when you do an integration with analytics, it helps you in reporting. Alright, so you can get a lot of data about how this reporting works and what is happening exactly. Okay, and then there is personalization. Okay, so what is personalization basically? Does anybody wants to try answering what personalization is? Are you aware of this?
Showing user the relative relevant content based upon his maybe parameters like gender or area specific that he's coming on,
That's correct.
or based upon some of the parameters.
So showing the relevant content at a relevant time, right? So for example, based on some of your attributes, alright, if you log into your eBay, okay, so you say suppose you have purchased a book today, right, the next on your next subsequent logins, it's going to show you a collection of books which have newly arrived, right? It is going to show you whatever your interests are, right? So similarly, in Adobe AEM, it comes with a personalization framework. Alright, there is something called as a segment management and all those things, wherein you can add your user attributes and you can also show relevant content accordingly. So it comes with a framework which is already ready. Right? Does the content management system you mentioned come with these things, all these features, whatever I'm saying now?
Yeah, we do have all these features.
Okay. And how about your mobile framework? Does it come with a mobile framework as well?
It comes with, but we've been not using it because I don't know, there are a lot of issues with the tool and everything. So the product supported, but we are not implemented it.
Okay, fine. And Adobe Experience Manager, right? It also offers something called as the translation management. Right? So when I say translation management, right, I want to build multi-channel, multilinguistic websites. Right? When I say multilinguistic websites, I want to have about 80 languages of a website at a time. Right? So basically, this comes with a framework to do that. So the only thing, there is a translation workflow that runs in the backend. So that is going to, translate all your websites. Right? You can have multiple versions of a website. Okay. So basically, if you look at large websites, say suppose I'll take intel.com. I'm taking a website which is built in AEM. Okay. If you look at this, the look and feel of my website remains same across multiple languages. Say suppose I take Spanish, right? The look and feel remains the same. So this is all because of this content management system, right? You just have one blueprint. That blueprint can be any of the languages. Here, right? Say suppose you have English as a blueprint. All your other languages can change with the content. All right, you can edit the content, but the look and feel remains the same. Right. Once you develop a master copy, rolling it out, right, it's just 2 or 3 days effort. Okay. So this comes with a translation management. Okay. This is what I was saying. This is the multi-site manager. When I say multi-site manager, I can have multi-channel, multi-linguistic websites. Okay. I can create, edit, and manage region-specific websites in different languages.
So do we have to, does it come integrated with the product, or do we need to integrate AEM with some other third-party vendor to make the translations happen?
Yeah, see, to make the translations happen, all right. For example, you have your EN, you have your Spanish website, right? It will give you placeholders to create the Spanish website, all right. So your content is ready. Whereas if you want to get the real-time translation of any content, that AEM does not do. It's not a translator, but it
Okay.
gives you placeholders to create this framework. All right. The only thing that you need to do after having these placeholders ready is to add the relevant language translation into that particular placeholders. Right.
Okay. But
This
the
is why,
author still needs to author the content, right?
yes, authors either it can be a manual thing or they can use something like a Clay tablet or any other Google translation tools are there. So whenever you provide any XML as input, it gives you the output in 10 different languages. So once you get the output, what to do with it, that AEM takes care. Where to place that content, what all you need to do when you get the translated content, that AEM takes care.
Okay.
Okay. Just give me one moment. Hi, Madhur.
Rishi, Jagan joined.
Hi, Jagan and Madhur. Actually, today, I mean, I just Srini has sent out a mail. Our
Yeah,
class
yeah,
is
yeah.
at 6 a.m.
Yeah, half an hour. Okay, okay, I'll join back.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, and then what else it comes up with, right? It comes with forums, ratings, and reviews. All right. So basically, it comes with a lot of social collaboration. When I say social, right, it takes care of the forums, ratings, and reviews to engage with visitors and customers across several media channels. All right. So this is the social collaboration that I was talking about. It comes with shared calendars. All right. When I say shared calendar, I can have the calendar component here and I can take care of the eventing and all those things. All right. So it comes with the eventing also. So these are some of the things that AEM comes up with. All right. Just give me a moment, guys. Hey, Madhur and Jagan, the class is at 6 o'clock. Do you guys still want to be here? I mean, this is a basic session for another batch.
Oh, I have not seen that actually. I thought it's
Okay.
okay. So it's gonna start at 6 or
Yeah,
7:30, somebody saying.
yeah, it's going to start in the 20 minutes. I'll join back at 6 a.m. I mean, this is a new introduction session for the upcoming batch, Madhur.
Oh, no
So
worries, no
maybe you
worries.
can, yeah, maybe you can join back another 15 minutes.
Cool, we'll do that. We'll come at 6 then.
Okay, thanks. Meanwhile, you can keep seeing that yesterday's exercise.
Yeah, that is missing actually. I was just feeling guilty of doing that. I just now do that.
Yeah, yeah, you can do that.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thanks, Madhur.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Okay. So basically, which are some of the websites that are already using AEM, right? So there are some big players who are using AEM, right? So for example, how do I find out that these websites are using AEM, right? There is a school website called builtitwith.com. Yeah. So if you go here, say so for example, I click on Right? You can look up the technology stack that your website is using. Right? So if you see here, this uses Adobe Experience Manager as the content management system, and there is a content delivery network of Akamai that it uses. Right? It gives you an entire stack of technologies that it uses. It uses the Apache web server. This is for your dispatcher. Right? And it gives you a list of your JavaScript libraries. Okay, and tells you a lot of information. Right? So when there are some big players who use this, so this is going to be in demand, at least from my perspective. The next 2.5 to 3 years, this is going to be in crazy demand. There's no other content management system that is as reliable, as stable as this is. Okay. So today's session, I just wanted to introduce you to what are the kinds of roles that are available here. All right. So when you talk of learning AEM, right, you can learn it in different ways. Okay. You just need to see where you fit in. Okay. So one thing that there is authors. Okay. Just give me one, guys. Okay. So the different stakeholders of AEM are, there is the authors. So authors are responsible for using the components and building the website. All right. So when I say using the components, these are the components that are going to be developed by the developers. Okay. So basically, the developers are the ones who are going to build the reusable components. All right. And when you have multiple websites, right, you can reuse the existing components. So if you are a large organization, within your organization you may have microsites, right? So as an author, right, you would be responsible for building those websites using the components. Okay. And as developers, you would be responsible for building the reusable components, right? When you say reusable components, you would have APIs, right? You would have APIs of the underlying technology stack. For example, if you look at this AEM, it comes with something called as the JCR, right? So when you look at the storage here, this is not like a traditional Java application, right? You don't have a traditional database with tables and rows and columns. So what you have here is a hierarchy based structure. When I say hierarchy based, it's like Unix, right? You have a root and you can have children nodes, and under nodes you can have properties, right? So this is a hierarchy based. Okay, so basically to manipulate those nodes, manipulate any data, right? As a developer, what you're going to do is you're going to develop based on the API, and you need to understand the framework. Okay, then there is system administrators. Okay, so system administrators are the ones who are responsible for building the environments, all right, and for configurations. Okay, and who are responsible for day-to-day activities like adding users, right, adding user groups, monitoring your AEM performance, managing your repository. Okay, and then you have your digital marketeer, right? Digital marketeers are usually the owners of your website. When you say owners of your website, they are responsible for how your website is behaving. Alright, they are responsible for, sorry guys, pardon this. Alright, how your owners of how your website is behaving, what is the conversion of your website, and they are responsible for the analytics part. They are responsible for basically increasing the lead to conversion. Alright. So basically what, as a AEM learner, right, you need to understand under what role you fall. Okay, so basically from the training perspective, all right, I'm going to cover the developer and the advanced developer part. All right. So developer and the advanced developer, if you look at this, so I have a combined training program for the developer and the advanced developer concepts. I have a separate training for the system administrator role. Okay. So just let's quickly overview what all is covered under the, this is the developer training that I'm showing you. All right. So I have a combined topic list. So basically, this is going to be around 40 hours of training, all right, this developer. So with this, what you're going to do is, all right, introduction to AEM, all right. This is the first thing that I'm going to start again when we start with the classes, all right. I'm going to tell you about the advantages over other CMS. Just one thing, Srini, are you there? Yeah, I'll ask Srini. Okay, I have a introduction demo.
Yeah,
Okay, I would. Yeah, Srini, can you pass them the demo
yeah,
video that we.
sure. I will do that one.
Okay, thanks, Srini. Okay, so basically we are going to look at the introduction to AEM, right? We are going to see the different versions of AEM. Okay, so what were the enhancements in each version and what is the current version and all those information. We're going to see a bit of history of AEM, all right? Why AEM evolved, and what are the other CMS tools and all those things. Right? Then we're also going to discuss the features, right? Whatever we discussed today, we're going to see like what is it, how is it happening exactly, and all those things. Then we are also going to look at the installation and deployment. I'm going to hand you over the jar file. Right, this AEM comes with a license, so this is not something that is available open source and I can download. Right, you need to have the jar. Right, the entire app server gets installed when you download that jar. Okay, then I'm going to show you the different modes of operation in AEM. Right, so AEM comes with a touch optimized UI. When I say touch optimized, all right, it comes with a responsive authoring framework for the authors. Right? The authors can sit at their homes and do the authoring using any of their touch devices. Right? They can use their mobile phones and author it. So we're going to see that. I'm going to show you the DAM console, right? How the DAM console actually works and all those things. Okay. So then when you look at the technology stack, it comes with something called as OSGI. Right? We are going to understand in depth what OSGI is. All right. Then it comes with, for the content storage part, it comes with JCR. Okay. So we are going to see how the architecture of the JCR is, what are the APIs used to manipulate into the JCR and all those things. Okay. Then we are also going to learn Sling, REST, and Sightly. Okay, so Sling is again, it's a REST-based framework, right? When you have content, you need to access that content and display it on a page, correct? So you need a protocol to access the content and display, right? So this comes with something called as the REST. And for the component building, there's something called as Sightly. Okay, so we are going to do examples and whatever topics that how I teach here is, whatever topics you have. Okay, I'm going to show you the exercise and I'm going to hand you over the code. Okay, and basically I give you time. For example, I give you time to do it, and if you're stuck with it, we are going to discuss in the subsequent classes. Okay, and every topic has an example here. It's not that I'm running through some theory and you're just seeing this. Okay, and basically when you talk of AEM, it's a list of pages. So all those pages need to have templates, how I can modify the page rendering, right? How I can display the content, how I can use the APIs, all those things I'm going to cover. And then we are also going to cover a few complex components, which is going to be a part of any of your websites that you're going to develop in future. Okay. So if you're going to see the logo, search component, navigation, dynamic grid. Okay. I think Srini will share this topic list with you. So this is the one that I'm going to. Then we're going to discuss the workflows in detail, right? How I can create a custom workflow, how I can use the existing workflows for my scenarios. We're going to discuss the scenarios, real-time scenarios. Then we're also going to see the mobile websites and responsive design. Okay. And then once we do this, right, from here onwards, start the advanced developer part. Okay. In the advanced developer part, right. So usually whenever you have large-scale teams, right, large-scale development teams, you need to have a subversion, you need to have good build management, okay, you need to have IDEs, right, like Eclipse and all those things. So we'll see how we can make our entire AEM project work on Eclipse, right? How I can use Maven build tool to do all these things, okay? So we'll understand Maven in detail, right? And we'll create a project structure and we'll start working on those things, okay? And then once we do that, right, we would look at OSGA components and annotations, right? How these things can be modified in AEM, right? When I say OSGA, it comes as a collection of bundles. Right? We are slowly going to see what is the advantage of those things, how I can develop my own bundles, what are the things that I can do there. Okay. Then the eventing and scheduling, right? I told you that this comes with event handlers, right? You can handle any events and create triggers here, right? So we are going to listen to those OSGA events. We're going to handle the jobs, right? We are going to trigger a replication and all those things, right? Slowly we're going to understand these things. And then we are also going to understand the scheduler, right? Whatever I mentioned here, it's going to be with, see, I believe in explaining with examples. I'll give you a simple example. Alright, so even in future when you get any requirement, I want to, you have this reusable piece of code wherein you are going to add your custom functionality into that, right? I'm going to give you placeholders, and basically after this training, right, you'll be enabled to work on AEM projects, okay? And then we are also going to see the versioning and observation. Alright, I'm going to introduce you to testing, alright, how to JUnit test, right, how to write these JUnit test cases, right? There is easy mock and power mock test case frameworks here, right? User groups and permissions, right? Or how do I take care of the basic admin activities like the deployment and packaging, okay? Then dispatcher is used for the caching, right? We're just going to see this dispatcher part. Configuring the dispatcher comes under AEM, under the admin part. Under the developer part, you'll just understand what all are there in the dispatcher section, okay? And we're also going to see the content migration and periodic importers, right? When you're building AEM, you may have some legacy content management systems that are already there, right? So basically you need to take care of moving that content from the existing system to your AEM. So you need some kind of an importer to import that content, or you need some kind of migration strategies, right? So we're going to discuss all those things. And then we're also going to discuss upgrading from different versions, right? Usually now they're going to use the 5.6. Most of the projects will undergo an upgrade cycle. So how to plan for those things, all right? So this is the developer part. Now say suppose you are interested more into the system administration part, right? Or you are more interested in the infrastructure part. So I have a system administration part wherein whatever the administrator does day to day, right? Automating the package managers, creating and downloading packages, handing it over to the different teams, right? Dev, QA, UAT, production teams. This is taken care by the administrator, right? And then there's something called as the replication agent that they set up, right? When you're activating from author to publish, right? You need to set up the replication agents. So this is the one that is carrying the content from author to publisher. This is done by the system administrator. Then there's something called as reverse replication agent. Alright, when the end user enters some form data, how it comes to your AEM, all these things. Alright, and then we are, like I told you, administrators are going to optimize the entire content storage. So it's something called as optimize the target and the journal, right? So how we are going to do all those things? How we are going to create the configurations? Right? These logging ratas, loggers, everything is configured by the system administration team. Right, they take care of the user administration and security, okay? And for the security of your website, right, they have a security checklist that Adobe has prescribed, right? We are going to go through the security checklist, right? We are going to see what are the different kinds of configurations, right? And we are going to configure the dispatcher in real. All right, when I say dispatcher, it sits in front of your publisher and it's responsible for caching. You don't expose your publisher directly to the end user, you expose it to the dispatcher, right? So it serves all your static, it caches your static request and it's used for the load balancing and the performance management. So we are going to configure that, and we are also going to take care of the performance monitoring, all right? Which are the most long-lasting requests? Why is it taking time? How do I monitor the page response time? How do I monitor the component-based timing and all these things? Okay, guys. So this is about it. Any questions you have for me?
Rishi, so in real time, do they have this system admin role? Because I've heard like from a few of my friends that when they hire the developer, they also look that he does the basic administration as well.
Correct. I mean, that is again company specific, right? If you have a small project, right, it does not make sense to have one developer and have two system admin. It depends on the size of your project, right? At least on the large scale projects, right? On the projects that I have worked, there's a separate infrastructure team of about 2 or 3 members, right? When you have multiple environments, if the developer takes care of doing the system administration activities, right, where is their time for development? You get it, right? So
Yeah.
that's the reason. It depends on the size of your project again.
Yeah.
It's a very subjective thing actually.
Okay. So are there equal the same positions as developer for system admin as well in the market?
Mm, yes, I mean, currently there is a lot of boom for both developers as well as administrators. But if you think of the way any team is formed, right, you would have about 7 to 8 developers, right? If I'm talking of a medium scaled application,
Okay.
and you would need about 2 to 3 members, right? If you take the ratio of developers to admins, yes, there is definitely developers have more this one. There are more developers there. But system admins, because not many people opt for it, there is a good market for the administrators as well, right? So when you choose to opt for administrators, you need to be good in some things like some areas of networking and all those things.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So
also,
that's again, yeah, that's your call.
okay. So are there any e-commerce sites that are using AEM?
Yes, there are. So AEM again, it comes with integrations, right? So when you talk of AEM, it comes with integrations on SAP. It comes with integration with a lot of third-party systems like your e-commerce, ATG. Even if there is no integration supported, right, because it's a Java-based application, you can define your own framework, right? You can define your own framework. If you are good at Java, right, you can build a custom bundle that will talk to your third-party systems, right? It's basically a web service call. Right,
Yeah.
any of your third-party services, the web service call. So this gives you placeholders to create those web services. Right? In my training, will I be able to do a hybrid integration with e-commerce? No, that part I'm not covering. But after my training, you will know what exactly to do after doing. Right? This is a 40-hour session. I cannot take you through all those things. Right? I'm going to enable you to do that. Right? I'm going to cover real-time scenarios. That is the only thing that I can do. And system administration is about 15 hours training. Developer and advanced developer, that combined list that I told you, it's about 40 to 45 hours.
Okay.
So that's all it is about trading. Any other questions, guys?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Fine. Srini, you can share them the other video that we had. You can have a look at it, okay? And then you can just see how things go.
Okay, Rishi, sure.
Fine. Srini, you can also share them the system administrator and the combined training topics.
Yeah, I already shared that whatever you are showing that course content, I already shared to them.
Okay, fine, Srini. Thanks a lot. Okay, guys. So if that is done, okay, wish you all the best. Let's see how things go. Okay, have a good day. I'll close this session and I have another training to join into. Okay,
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
thanks Ranjit, thanks Vishwani, have a good day.